very funny. Now, if I was in charge...
But you aren't, Beachhead. First comes Hawk, then Duke, then me, and finally you.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll change someday.
YouTube Yard was good. Was good, Yarderos. I don't know if I could pull that off. Southsiders up, homies. What up, homies? Your homie Bams. 200 subscribers, man. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's awesome. It's your homie here. Pretty stoned, pretty buzzed. Just had dinner. Had a tooth pulled. So my wife made me pancakes, and fuck, homies, I chewed the pancakes. I chewed the pancakes on one side. I might have put too much syrup. All right, man. They say 15 seconds is the most important part of a video, so we'll see how that goes. First of all, thanks to the 200 subscribers. Fuck, man, $200 in about a month. $200, I wish. 200 subscribers in about a little over a month, I guess, man. So that's awesome, and I appreciate it. And hopefully I'm watchable, homie. Please hit the like and subscribe. All right, you see the thumbnail. First of all, let me start off by saying just a little caveat. I said it once before. Dude, I stopped watching the YouTube Yarda. I think it wasn't even called that when I kind of like unplugged because I was somewhere else in YouTube and trying to do content, whatever the case may be. And I realized a few days ago or a week ago, it was about 200, about two years. And I've caught up by watching like Chemos and 415, specifically all the battle, man. It seems like there's been a war for the soul of the YouTube Yarda. It's interesting. Well, I missed a lot of shit, right? So obviously this is about the dude Dubs who, in all honesty, bro, I watched when I came back into the yard, I watched particular topics. But you see the thumbnail and, you know, unbeknownst to me, it seems like the majority and the strongest and the, biggest channels and with the biggest platform are dudes that status is no good. You know, it's no disrespect to them. It's just, it is what it is. So I just find that interesting dynamic, bro. And I think I've said it before, like, you know, look, man, I'm just going to speak about it because I know people get weird about mentioning names, but I'm not coming in an aggressive manner or to be disrespectful. I said once that, like, the audience, the YouTube Yarda, the people that watch, what did you guys expect? Watching Gunners and Dubs team up, I think it's perfect strategy, in my opinion. You monopolize the market or the views. It seems that the most, in this particular bubble of prison culture, the no goods, the PCs have control of what is called the YouTube Yarda, and that ain't never going to change. And listen, man, I don't give a fuck about these dudes' status. I really don't, because we're all on the streets, bro. So, I mean, you know, they are free to speak about what they want to speak about. And anybody really is free to speak about what they want to speak about. But when you're a dude that's solid and you're not in that situation, I struggle to be able to say or to be able to talk about the things that I've talked about. You know, so it's like you have to tiptoe. And I do it just out of respect because I know there's no rules to this shit. I'm safe, man. I left LA in 2015. I'm in the Midwest, but I still consider myself a Southsider. It's just part of me that'll never leave, and I'm a proud Southsider. But let's just pretend that if I was from a more known barrio, big barrio, a neighborhood, multi-generational, I'm pretty sure there's some shit my homies wouldn't want me to say or talk about. I mean, just because I'm from a smaller hood that's no longer existent doesn't mean I could just free to say what I want to say, because I got to respect, you know, my former enemies in the car. But I say this, bro, if people are expecting that, like, this paperwork and all this shit that happens to, like, Dubs, Gunners, and any renegade media, the other dudes that are no good that speak freely, which I don't think that's the case with Gunners and Dubs. I think I've said it before, they're respectful to the Rafla they were once part of. A bunch of other dudes they just say what they want to say names, say it all. Well, they're free to do that. And so they're going to win, bro. I mean, they dominate the YouTube Yarda. This is the reign of the PCs, and there's nothing anybody can do. So that paperwork being read about Dubs, everybody knew that anyway. It was old news, but still, it was entertaining. I watched because I wanted to see, and everybody knows that if somebody debriefs, you got to give something up, bro. Right? Am I wrong? Am I out of pocket? No, I like to be honest and say that I did 3 years and a little less than 3 years in 4 yards. I still got to do my high desert video. But I even said in a video that I knew a dude that had a cousin, that had a brother, had a grandfather and a great grandfather, and a cousin and a third cousin that did time with Dubs when he was good. Now, I didn't know that till later when the YouTube Yarda started getting, when my homie started talking about it, and I went to visit California, whatever. There was a conversation, whatever the case may be, right? So, I mean, what you saw last night, and I pose this to the people that watch, to my subscribers, and to anybody else that might stop by and make it this far. Even if the paperwork is delivered on what he specifically told on and being debriefed, is that going to change anything? No, it won't. His channel, his platform, whatever, his content is got into a level, bro, that it's just not going to affect it. I'm pretty sure that half the people that watch are probably good dudes. I don't really pocket watch anybody, so I know they get views, and so are we just sit here to think that half of those? I think a good number of those views are regular camaradas, regular homies, just watching, or so. It's not like the dude's gonna go away. And I get why people. You know what? I remember even thinking back then. Okay, fine. Maybe so. Do you guys think that for you guys, right? For anybody that watched this and can't stand Dubs, do you think him being honest would have really changed you guys' hate for him or anybody's irritation with him? Because I kind of like, to me, it's more interesting the mind state of why this fool gets a lot of hate. And sometimes I think about it, I was like, wait, okay, so what he talks about in it, and knowing that the dude is no good, and no disrespect to him, right? Knowing that the dude is no good, that he debriefed, that he rolled it up, all that. I think people get rubbed. It rubs people the wrong way because he got to a place in there allegedly where it's a strong spot, and now he's not. And so, but he talks like, well, how about this? There's some of you guys that hate him get mad at him because he fucking folded it up. And so, let's say if he doesn't do what he did, he wouldn't be free. So he chose freedom, right? I'm not justifying the shit. That's on him. That's none of my business, I said I had a homie or two that 1, 3, 2 I don't fuck with. They're gone. 1, I'm sorry, man. That's my I went to elementary, junior high with this fool. This fool caught life way early. So, and his situation was he was basically not mentally handicapped, but handicapped. So when that yard turned S and Y, he stayed. And it's the only reason why he came home, right? Because he did, I don't know, whatever years after that, just doing his time, right? There was no debriefing for him. There was no rolling it up, right? Maybe it rubs you guys the wrong way because this dude talks like a homie, acts like a homie, was a homie, now he's not, and it irks people that he's got these stories that he tells, whether they're fictional or not, right? Let's just say they're real, and it irks people that he's no good, that he PC'd up. So it's like he's almost false representing the Ramfla, talking about the Ramfla, talking about legends, and you're no good. So what is it? Does that what irks you guys? Because I'm just trying to have a conversation because I don't really give a shit about any of them dudes, their status. They're free on the streets. It's America. They can say what the fuck they want to say. But when you're game member, when we're all game members, we know, right? You're talking about the lifestyle you just gave up on. Even though it's respectful and he doesn't really mention names. That paperwork that was shown and gone over, bro, doesn't do nothing. And even if it would come out on exactly, because when you debrief, you got to give some shit up. I did that before time enough to know that, bro. You know? And, you know, I'm not ever going to say certain people that I did time with, but I know that when you debrief, you got to give shit up, especially to come out of the Pelican Bay or come out of the shoe. I know he has said, and I've seen it in the comments, that he didn't give up anybody of importance, but I mean, I'm sure fair trade. I'm sure something had to have been said about somebody. So, and I know that that's what everybody wants to see. But bro, even I don't think that'll happen. But even if it's not going to change, it's not. These dudes ain't going nowhere, man. You know, so I think, and I get it. If you guys want to, I get it. People want to troll them and leave all the comments. Well, fuck it, man. Get your troll on. I guess, but at some point, gotta understand. My wife's Dodgers must have scored, bro. My wife's up there clapping. I guess at some point, I think motherfuckers need to let it go, bro, and just don't watch, dude. Or just if he crashes out, or though any other them dudes crash out, fucking sit there and watch and enjoy it for content. At the end of the day, this shit is entertainment, bro. I watch the people who I watch on the YouTube Yarda mainly for their personalities. You know, I'm a working man, bro. I everything with me is good standing, and it means a lot to me. Especially now, you know, seeing the way people feel about people that are no good in this space. And trust me, I hesitated to come on here because I could get trolled for anything. I worried about saying my hood. I worried about, and I could probably get trolled for that later, and then get trolled for looking the way I look, and get trolled for being Central American, but still being a Southsider. All kinds of shit, but I'm with it. I can roast with the next motherfucker, homies. Trust me. So I just, it's just enjoyable, dude. And it's like, it really is like how a lot of content guys say novela, chisme, but it's drama, homie. That's what it is, bro. And I'm kind of for it. I enjoy it, but I just want to, you know, and it's hard to be in this space without not talking about some of the shenanigans that go on, bro. Come on. You know, it was funny watching Slugs and not really wanting to talk about it and put some shit up but I knew it was coming. Chemo Flicks, you know, the video, I do Chemo's dude. You know, he's, those Chemo and 415, I think is just selective politics, bro. You gotta, you know, it's best to keep it respectful with them dudes. You know, and I was actually told just be honest, and I knew that being honest might work in my favor in the long term, and I think does by not coming out from the gate and saying, "Hey, man, I rolled it up." All right, it's out there. I ain't no good. I ain't no good camaradas, but I still got a story to tell, and nobody would have been pestering and provoking. You know, yeah, I don't think that. I don't know, dude. It's funny. It's interesting. The psychology of the YouTube Yarda. And it's just a perfect name, bro. YouTube Yarda is just so perfect. And it's segregated. The YouTube Yarda is segregated. And the PCs are winning. I mean, let's just keep it real. They have the bigger platforms, like I said. So they're not going anywhere, bro. Some of them make a living off this shit. They're not going anywhere. It's just not going to happen. And then, you know, some of them have a roster of other PCs that are getting that they are getting their information for that's gonna make them content. So they're they're not going anywhere. So I mean, I watch who I watch, and that's it. And I know they've been no good for a while in their region of California, and they've said it, and it's entertainment. Yeah, I'm not gonna hang out with these dudes. I mean, they ain't trying to hang out with me anyway. It's not really like that. But recognize game. You gotta respect these dudes. They were able to build a platform, man. And so, if you combine Dub's channels, well over 100 grand subscribers, Gunners too, and all the other dudes, fucking king of the PCs, king of them all. I say that because how he speaks and how he does, you guys know what's up. So, yeah, I don't think, and I will say this, I don't think the viewers, the watchers will ever stop trolling these dudes. They just won't. Some of them are natural haters. Some of them just like to troll. It's entertaining. It's not really being malicious, so... yeah, man. It's interesting, guys. I'm here for it, and my channel is it's kind of moving, man. It's kind of doing good, and I'm just gonna keep going. And I don't have these elaborate stories like some of these dudes, bro. I mean, I could talk about being shot. I could talk about shootouts, but I hesitate to mention the dudes who I used to beef it with. It's just really hard. I don't know what I could say, what I can't say. And I ain't even in the state, bro, so I could say whatever the fuck I want to say. But it's just not the type of Southsider I am, bro. I just want to close and say, look, man, I know people are always going to hate these dudes. You're always going to troll these guys. These guys are always, everybody's always going to sponge off these guys. And they know it. And it is what it is. And it is, you have an opinion and you want to share it, you can. But it's the reign of the PCs, bro. They run the YouTube Yarda. Just like they have their own prisons and their own yards and blocks in prison. I saw a lot of people just lock it up. Just, we'd be on lockdown in high desert, bro, and we'd hear keys, and I was on the lower tier, and I'd always look to see what the movement was what the movement was. I'd see 3 COs and a sergeant stand at the celly port. I hear him going up stairs or going to a cell. Next thing you know, I see a homie just leave and not come back. I'm like, damn, where'd the homie go? And then I look out the tier. We're talking to Sully. His Sully don't know. I don't know. And then next, here comes the COs with a trash can and bags. They pull the homie out, put him in the shower, and this fool just locked it up. I don't know where. And then obviously the homie gets pressed, like, hey, what the fuck? Like, you didn't know? Like, the homie's like, nah, I didn't know. I don't know, homie's like, the fucking block I came, asked for him, say, cuff up, and next thing I know, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Next thing I know, I see COs coming up, and he doesn't come back. He rolled it up, locked it up. 96 to 2000, that's what I remember. They locked it up. This was before SNY and sensitive need yards. I remember it being called the no good yard, or just straight out PCs, or walk-alones. I remember walk-alones a lot. We'd be playing handball in high desert or DR. The handball would go over. Went over to the walk-alone yard. I don't, then the handball would come back and gracias, always respecting prison, I don't think if I did my closing well. So all these PCs that run the YouTube Yarda, they're not going nowhere. Absolutely not. They share the same space. So, but hey, fuck it, man. Trolls are trolls, and I love it. I'm a troll myself, just not on this pocket. So, and I don't leave disrespectful comments. Half the time I don't comment, bro. That's just not my thing. I think every man, every human should be respected, and I understand. That they ain't one of us, and I think a lot of the viewers feel that, and then I think the viewers, they didn't even live this life or more, and they've gravitated to these dudes, bro, and it's just they're not going nowhere. So hey, fuck it, man. Keep trolling or keep hating or keep hate watching. I'm gonna watch what I watch, and but just know that the YouTube Yarda, at least this pocket, right? This YouTube Yarda, you guys know what I'm talking about. The PCs run it, bro. It's the reign of the PCs. Please like and subscribe. Southsiders up. Bam Bam out. Buenas noches.